provided by...
And now please welcome Anna Montoya.
Hello there, fellow students.
You be the judge. Nutrisystem has answered the bell with menu items that are new for 2023, including hearty inspirations meals to control hunger for up to 5 hours.
I jumped right in and lost 127 pounds.
Go online and get 50% off. Start losing weight today.
Okay, before we reveal the #1 show of all time, what's yours?
I'm going to date myself. The White Shadow. Come on now.
I got nothing. I'm sorry.
It should have been on this list.
Favorite comedy of all time, Martin. Fight me on it. I don't care. The best. Wow. But I love The West Wing so much. And the show landing at the top of this list can be summed up with this quote. Family, they're the only ones you can depend on. Who said that?
Tony Soprano.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, he did. The Sopranos is #1. Hard to believe that we lost James Gandolfini 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Yeah, we leave you now with his former co-stars sharing their memories of James. Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Those who want respect, give respect.
He never really knew how good he was, and I think that may have served him. He was so humble in the face of how great he was.
He took his work seriously, but he didn't take himself seriously. Oh, we laughed a lot.
Well, it's easy to laugh on set when you're winning award after award. And to this day, the ending, the famous, or is it infamous, fade to black, still has folks talking.
I loved how the series ended because I think there was no way that everybody was going to be happy.
What we saw is what it is. That makes no sense, but that's how I see it now.
That's it. Goodbye. Go home. Figure it out for yourself.
You all right?
Yeah, me? Yeah. Absolutely.
First at 5 tonight, water issues causing some problems for a number of people this evening. A boil water notice has been issued for several communities in Kerr, Bandera, and Bexar counties. Officials with the Texas Water Utilities say about 2,000 households right now are affected. Take a look at your screen. Customers living in the following communities are being told to boil their water that will or could be consumed. Those include Enchanted River Estates, Lake Medina Shores, Riverbend Estates, as well as Verde, Oak Ridge, and Oak North Mobile Estates. Also on the list, customers of the Westwood water system. Low water pressure apparently triggering that boil water notice today. Texas Water Utilities says once the issue has been resolved, customers will be notified. Right now, the search is on for a gunman who opened fire on an SUV, hitting a man in the back of the head. It happened around 11 o'clock last night in the 300 block of Henry Street, on the west side near Culebra in North Hamilton. It's unclear right now what led up to that shooting, but officers say multiple bullets struck that SUV. The victim, a 20-year-old man, was the passenger in the SUV. He was taken to the hospital in stable condition. No word right now on any suspect description. San Antonio firefighters say a fireplace may have helped spark this fire over on the northeast side. Fire crews were called out to Goldfield Drive off of I-35 near Riddiman Road on Sunday night. A couple fast asleep inside their trailer home awakened by smoke filling that home. They were able to escape safely. Firefighters say the couple had a fire going in that fireplace earlier in the day. Crews believe flames from the fireplace then spread to the trailer itself. That fire, though, remains under investigation. A man arrested for aggravated robbery has his bond set at $1 million. This after police say the man pulled a gun on an underage girl. Arrest records show 35-year-old Ramon Thompson was arrested for breaking into an East Side home and robbing the victim at gunpoint. Now, according to documents, the girl woke up to find Thompson inside her East Side home this past Saturday. Police say Thompson went through the girl's pockets and her wallet and then hit her over the head. Investigators were able to track down Thompson after a witness reportedly saw him leaving that home and someone recognized him. Law enforcement out of Kingsville issuing a silver alert tonight for a 90-year-old man last seen last week. Kingsville is just southwest of Corpus Christi. Ralph Sparks was last seen on Friday. He is described as 5'6" with blue eyes. Police also say he may have some scratches on his hand. Now, Sparks was last seen in a blue 2020 Ford Fusion with this Texas license plate you see on your screen, NLT 3578. If you know anything that can help police find this man, you are asked to call the Kingsville Police Department. That number on your screen right now, 361-592-4311. Well, today is expected to be one of the busiest travel days of the holiday season, and travelers around the country are being forced to deal with cancellations and delays. At San Antonio International Airport this morning, hundreds of air travelers were stuck in the Alamo City due to canceled flights. A good majority of those cancellations, 15, were with Southwest Airlines. A statement released by the airline citing the winter storm as the cause for the cancellations. An official with Southwest says the day progressed. Weather conditions were expected to improve, though. Southwest Airlines says travelers with a canceled flight can receive a refund or a flight credit. And at least 47 people have died so far across the U.S. due to the massive winter storm, leaving cities buried under feet of snow over the holiday weekend as the brutal winter weather continues blasting much of the country tonight. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez reports on the latest from some of the hardest hit areas.
We tried to keep it together for as long as possible because we didn't want to frighten the kids.
As a deadly winter storm tore through the country, this Buffalo family of 6 was stranded in their car while trying to find a hotel after their home lost power.
It was like looking at a white piece of construction paper. You couldn't see anything at all.
In the middle of the storm and feeling helpless, they were rescued by firefighters.
Demetrius was pretty shaken up, and he said, "Just please don't leave us." I just told him, I said, I'll never leave you.
In Erie County, New York, one of the hardest hit areas, many streets remain impassable because of heavy snow. At the height of the storm, Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars says even some first responders had to be rescued.
We're used to snow here. We can handle snow, but with the wind, the blinding views, it was complete whiteouts.
Some major cities in the Southeast, Midwest, and East Coast recorded their coldest Christmas in decades. Tens of thousands remain without power, largely in New York, Maine, and Washington state. And more than 12,000 flights were canceled across the long holiday weekend.
I'm dying to get to my house and to my bed. Yes, this is terrible.
As much of the country recovers, this family remains grateful for the firefighters who saved their lives and gave them food, shelter, and even presents on Christmas.
They treated us with nothing but love and welcomed us with open arms. We felt like family there.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
In Washington state, more than 14,000 utility customers lost power after officials there say 4 power substations were intentionally vandalized. Take a look. The incident created a Christmas nightmare, forcing many residents to try and celebrate without electricity. Authorities say it's unclear if this was a coordinated attack on the grid. The attack on the power stations is the latest event fueling concerns about the security of the nation's power grid. Earlier this month, 2 electrical substations were attacked in North Carolina, knocking out power to 100,000 residents, prompting officials to declare a state of emergency. And there were 6 separate attacks on substations in Washington and Oregon in recent weeks, including back on Thanksgiving Day. So far, there have been no arrests made in any of these cases. New at 5, it has been more than 30 years now since the Texas Supreme Court ruled the state's system of public school funding was unconstitutional. Yet the changes were far from perfect. The most controversial one has become part of an overall funding formula. The so-called Robin Hood plan involves property-rich school districts giving to property-poor districts. Jesse DeGuiato says it took students in one of the city's poorest districts to trigger decades of court cases and the debate that goes on even now.
Those days, who carried a camera?
The only photos are newspaper clippings of the historic walkout at Edgewood High School. But Richard Herrera has quite a collection. He, Manuel Flores, and Rebecca Ortiz were very much a part of it in 1968. Back then, what is now the Edgewood Fine Arts Academy had broken windows, no AC, no heat. Even so, Flores says the principal had told a teacher,
"Take off your coat so the students won't think it's cold."
What is now a science lab was where Ortiz excelled in typing class, yet she couldn't compete at other schools.
We had never seen an electric typewriter.
But having seen what other schools had, like certified teachers and college-bound curriculums, they say is what finally led to the mass walkout.
3,000 students we had at the time, everybody walked out.
Herrera says his English teacher had blocked the door that's behind him.
The bell rang, she stood up and says, "Nobody's walking out of my class."
Until, he says, his brother on the other side slowly pushed it open, so they ran out. Despite teachers in support being suspended and threats of expulsion or being unable to graduate.
We knew we were taking a risk, but we said, this has to change. We deserve better.
So did the highest courts in the land and the state of Texas.
It all amounted to public school equity funding.
You get the best education possible according to your zip code. It's not right.
Old newspaper clippings serve a purpose, but Edgewood ISD is about to launch a social media campaign to highlight its history.
It's important that they know because it gives them identity. That DNA of social justice.
Born out of that day in 1968, says Edgewood Superintendent Eduardo Hernandez.
The beauty of it is that this was students who were doing it, so that's pretty cool.
His hope, he says, today's students will finish what others started 54 years ago. Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a quick look at traffic out there on this Monday night, the day after Christmas. Pretty slow going out there. Nothing to report as far as traffic troubles. Looking at I-37 and Jones Avenue, all the cameras out there tonight showing similar scenes. Quiet on the roadways and quiet weather-wise, Adam.
I gotta admit, I'm looking forward to a bit of a warming trend that's going to be on the way. Temperatures this afternoon making it into the 60s. Warren's backyard in Del Rio, 65. Even Floresville, about 65 degrees. Get to Mico at 62. Pleasant outside underneath that sun. However, keep in mind, temperatures will cool off very quickly as we go through the evening. Clear sky, calming wind, dry air. Optimal radiational cooling. So by 10 o'clock, we're down to 44 degrees, and I anticipate another freeze come tomorrow morning. We'll talk about how much longer we have to deal with these morning freezes and how much warmer temperatures we'll get in the extended forecast in just a bit, Tim.
All right, thanks, Adam. Right here in Military City, USA, U.S. airmen are going through extensive training to provide security for U.S. Air Force bases here, stateside, and abroad. These men and women make up the branch's largest career field. Jonathan Cotto takes us inside the training tonight and explains how security on every level affects base security as a whole.
Every job in the United States Air Force has a mission, but the responsibility of defending and protecting everything and everyone inside an Air Force installation lies on those who serve as part of the Air Force's largest career field. Security forces.
What we always tell the airmen is that nobody else on base can do their job without us, all the way down to the gate. If they can't check an identification properly and ensure the base security, then my individuals working at the medical facility cannot do their job. My individuals working at MPF cannot do their job without us. So we are the first base support.
A military police's foundation is established here, learning everything from career field history to weapons training.
So the journey is about 65 days long. It starts with them arriving out of BMT, out of here at Lackland Air Force Base.
Ma'am, what seems to be the problem?
The courses gradually intensifying, taking their training from an interactive environment.
Drop the weapon! Drop it!
To out in the field, simulating real-world scenarios.
You need to calm down. Sir, drop your weapon.
They're out here. We give them a little bit of stress inoculation to kind of get their heart rate going, their adrenaline pumping, kind of simulated to what they're going to experience in a real-life scenario. And we get them in the houses with those real-time reflexive responses so they can react accordingly.
But the training doesn't end here.
And then after that, they'll move into their field training up at Camp Bullis, just north of San Antonio.
There are over 300,000 airmen in the United States Air Force. 40,000 of those are security forces. The schoolhouses here at Lackland graduate 5,400 airmen each year. Reporting Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
And the Air Force is expecting some changes to its security forces training. Defenders will see a 50% increase in field training scenarios at JBSA San Antonio Camp Bullis. This includes more time on firearms handling and field craft skills. The new curriculum, which is currently being implemented, will change from 3 weeks to 6 weeks. Still ahead on the news at 5 tonight, a new standard in smart home living will now allow homeowners to synchronize the smart technology devices regardless of compatibility. How this is possible and other benefits being touted. Here's a look at what we're working on for KSAT News at 6 tonight. Christmas is over, but that doesn't mean gift shopping is. We talk with people who were out amongst the crowds at La Cantera today about what was bringing them out the day after Christmas. Plus, it's the time of year for believing. Today's KSAT Explains is all about believing in second chances. Decades living behind bars and then one day it's over. A second chance means a whole lot of firsts for the man we'll introduce you to. And the inspiration behind this woman's willingness to give a helping hand to struggling small businesses, the type of help she offers and how it allows her to continue to answer her calling to be a light in the world. All that and more coming up tonight on the news at 6. Having connected gadgets around the home is cool. It's also pretty convenient. Lights turn on automatically, doors lock from your phone, the list goes on. But making sure all of your devices work together can be a real pain. Now, as 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz reports, that's about to change.
It's frustrating. Derek Flowers says his family's smart home devices don't all work together.
You have to choose if you want to work mainly with Alexa, with Google, or with Apple, or with something different altogether.
But thanks to what's called the Matter smart home standard, that's changing. The new standard was created by several tech giants like Amazon, Apple, Google, and more, so people could choose their smart home devices based on features and price, not on compatibility.
It's going to make it a lot easier to buy devices that actually can talk to each other and work together.
Another big benefit, more competition. You'll see more products, and that should help lower prices. Right now, Matter supports a handful of smart home products like door locks, light bulbs, thermostats, and TVs. But you can expect more soon, like appliances, security cameras, and smart speakers. So how do you know what smart home devices support Matter?
New devices, it will be very easy to tell. You should see a Matter logo on the packaging or in the user manual. For existing products that consumers already own, which there are some that are being just updated via software to support Matter, those you'll likely either get an email or see a notification in the app for that device.
Matter also lets you control devices by multiple systems at the same time. That means you can turn on your lights from your Samsung phone, dim them by asking Alexa, and then turn them off from your iPad. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a live look outside with Live Cam on this Monday, the final week of 2022. Sunny and 64. We climbed out of the freezer again today, Adam.
Yes, we did. And we'll be in the freezer again tomorrow morning. And I do think that's going to be our last morning freeze of the foreseeable future. We'll be close on Wednesday morning, but then we warm up. We'll break that down for you in just a bit. 70s before you know it. High temperatures will be back in the 70s, and this freeze will be just a distant memory. And here's the key. Soon, no more chapped lips. Are you suffering from the dry skin, dry hands, chapped lips lately? That's because of the lack of any humidity and the very low dew points that we have. But let's start with temperatures. And tomorrow morning will be right around 30 degrees. So I anticipate a brief light freeze tomorrow morning. Wednesday, 34. Then much warmer by Thursday and even on into the weekend. We're talking morning temperatures back in the 50s. Take a look at the readings outside right now across the state. We're in the 50s and 60s, but you don't have to go very far north to get back into the 20s. Oklahoma City, 27, Wichita, 22. Get up into Missouri and we're at 20 degrees as well. There is a weak cold front to the north of us. That's not going to be impacting our temperatures and not affecting us. So right now, 60s for most. Already down to 58, though, in Fredericksburg and 59, Rock Springs. These temperatures will drop quickly later on this evening. These temperatures will be falling fast because of the clear skies, a calming wind, and that very dry air that's in place. Readings right now from 68 in Castroville to 59 in Bernie. So obviously a bit of a range out there, but we should all settle a little below freezing tomorrow morning. That's 29 for Seguin and Gonzales, 27 Bernie, Bulverde, and Comfort, Hondo about 31. And here in San Antonio, I'm thinking right around 30 degrees for a few hours early tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, just up to near 60. 60 the high around San Antonio, and even some upper 50s as you get up into the hill country. But that all changes. By Wednesday, we're well into the 60s. Thursday, up to 70 degrees. And then look at this as we get into the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, so New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, mid 70s and much warmer conditions that'll be on the way. So we'll actually be rising above average when it comes to morning and afternoon temperatures. Okay, let's talk about dew points, the direct measure of how much moisture is in our air and the moisture content. And when you have dew points down in the 20s and teens like we do now, and actually it was even drier just a few days ago, dew points below zero. Well, right now dew points are in the 20s, and that means you may be noticing that dry skin, need that moisturizer, the lip balm and whatnot. This situation will change. The humidity is going to return gradually, but we'll get that wind off the Gulf of Mexico. And by Wednesday, dewy's in the 40s. Thursday, actually a little humid. Dew point is 61. no more chapped lips later this week, especially by Thursday. And that little influx of humidity is also going to lead to a few mornings of fog. Big picture, though, keeps the precipitation generally away from us. Even snow as far south as Mississippi and Alabama right now. That's with that cold air that's plunged southward and that dip in the upper level flow. For us, there will be a few disturbances, just nothing really adequate to get any showers going for us. Just a few minor chances here and there. Not tomorrow, that's for sure. Clear sky all day tomorrow, 30 degrees at 7 a.m. By noon, we're at 52. Then a high temperature 3-4 p.m., 60 degrees with that sunshine. Morning fog by Wednesday and even Thursday, so anticipate the reduced visibility on the roadways those days. And maybe a stray shower on Thursday, 20% chance, and then Monday, about a 20% chance of a storm, Tim.
Looking much more like the South Texas winter we're used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Spurs back in action tonight at home, hosting the Jazz. Greg Simmons live courtside for us tonight.
Yeah,
Greg?
this is going to be a tough assignment for the Spurs here, coming off a not-so-decent road trip where they only won one game. But when we come back, they'll get ready for the Utah Jazz tonight. We'll have a live preview from the AT&T Center. Plus, is a former Cuero High School star ready for a senior season, or will he turn pro? We'll put that question to him when we come back. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome live to the AT&T Center, where after having both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, the Spurs go back to work tonight when they play host to the Utah Jazz. Now, the Spurs are coming off a very disappointing 133-113 loss to the Magic. I saw the Spurs give up 72 second-half points while scoring only 52, roughed up, particularly in that fourth quarter, 39-24 in Orlando. In that game, Jakob Poeltl, in just his fourth game back, after missing the last six with a bone bruise in his right knee, scored 6 points in just 21 limited minutes.
The minutes restriction is fine. Just about finding a rhythm again, getting back in shape. I feel you can do all the conditioning in the world. Like just a basketball game is a different type of conditioning. So I'm trying to get that rhythm back. And yeah, it's going pretty well, but it just takes a couple games.
Here is the matchup tonight. Tip time 7 p.m. Highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat. The Valero Alamo Bowl between Texas and Washington now just 3 days away, and Longhorns face the Huskies in the Alamo Dome on Thursday night. Now, one of the big questions coming into this game as the Longhorns hold their workouts at Trinity University is, will this be the last game for former Cuero star Jordan Whittington in Burnt Orange, even though he still has 1 year of eligibility left thanks to medical redshirts for persevering through 3 seasons of injuries?
I'm just, waiting for my heart to give me an answer, to be honest. And, that time is getting close. I can feel it. So it'll be here shortly.
All right, we will visit with the Washington Huskies, who arrived last night, coming up at 6.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
There is an outside chance the Cowboys could win the NFC East, but they would have to win out against the Titans and the Commanders, and the Eagles would have to lose to both the Saints and the Giants. So is there still hope of winning their division?
Hey, if they go and help us out and drop a couple of games, hell yeah, we're going to take the title. I mean, that's awesome. But we have no say-so in that at this point. All we can do is continue to win out and hope on that. And I'm not a guy that hopes on a lot of failure. So obviously I want the title, and that'd be great. But that's just getting into distractions that don't really pay us anything forward.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on that. Live from the AT&T Center, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports. We'll wrap it up right after this.
That's it. We'll see you at 6.